The Prophet ﷺ also mentioned أَشَدُّ النَّاسِ بَلَاءً, that the most tested of people are those who are the prophets, and then the righteous, and then those that follow them in righteousness in terms of their order. And so Ibrahim alayhi salam, what you notice about him as well is that he's one of the most tested prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Tested in so many ways. Tested with his father, tested with his people, tested with his children, tested with his spouses, tested with a tyrant, tested with the laity, tested with everybody. Right? So Ibrahim alayhi salam is tested in so many ways throughout his life. And that tells us something, right? The fact that despite all of these distinctions that he has, despite the righteousness that's assigned to him, the honor that's assigned to him, the fact that he still tested this severely tells you something. It's not that, he is tested even though he is righteous. He's tested because of how loved and righteous he is. He's tested for that reason. And so there is a correlation between bala, between test and trial, and the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we see it with the Prophet ﷺ, we see it with Ibrahim alayhi salam, we see it with Ayyub alayhi salam, we see it with Yusuf alayhi salam, right, the great grandson of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So there is something to be said about the tests that come to Ibrahim alayhi salam, despite the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the high station and the high honor that he gave to him. Allah Azza wa Jal also mentions him amongst those who his favor was completed upon. So again, I want you to see that these are themes in our own lives that typically we not only disconnect with one another, but we think that one of them disqualifies the other. And so the love of Allah, but then the most tested. And then here, Allah completed his favor upon him. When Allah Azza wa Jalla says, وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَى أَبَوَيْكَ مِنْ قَبْلِ إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَإِسْحَاقَ. In Surah Yusuf, that Allah may complete his favor upon the family of Jacob the way that he has completed it upon your grandparents, Ibrahim and Ishaq, Abraham and Isaac, peace be upon them all. So Allah mentions him amongst those whose favor has been completed upon him.